Leader Abu Ayyub al-Masri and the purported head of an affiliate group, Abu Omar al-Baghdadi, have been killed. Their deaths were announced by US officials and Iraq's Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki, who said it followed a joint Iraqi-US operation west of Baghdad. Al-Qaeda in Iraq has been linked to numerous deadly attacks in the country. More than a month after Iraq's inconclusive election, votes cast in Baghdad will be recounted, raising the chance of a reversal in the results. An election panel ordered the manual recount for the capital, which accounts for 68 seats in the 325-seat parliament, making it a key prize. The development will delight incumbent Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki, whose Shiite-led alliance had complained of electoral irregularities. His bloc believes it will benefit from the move. It came second in March's nationwide ballot, just behind former Prime Minister Iyad Alawi's cross-sectarian group backed by minority Sunnis. But Iraq is still waiting for formal final results, and without a clear winner, the country faces months of negotiations to form a new government. They're overshadowed by the threat of attacks from a Sunni Islamist insurgency, still killing dozens of people a month in suicide attacks and shootings. What now for peace talks in Cyprus? Concerns have been expressed at Turkish Cypriot nationalist Derviş Eroğlu's election triumph. A staunch backer of independence for the breakaway north, its prime minister has won outright victory in Sunday's presidential poll, a negative development for the internationally recognized Greek Cypriot government.
Having in mind the constant and declared position of Mr. Eroğlu against the federation, and in favor of the establishment of two separate states in Cyprus, significant problems will be created in the negotiations.
The result has major implications for Turkey, the only country to recognize northern Cyprus. With its EU ambitions in the balance, Ankara wants a settlement to be reached. Vowing to continue backing peace talks, its prime minister said the process should be pursued, regardless of who is leading Turkish Cypriots. Cyprus has been divided since a Turkish invasion in 1974, triggered by a brief coup inspired by Greece. UN-backed reunification talks have been part of a series of efforts to resolve the dispute. The North's now defeated leader, Mehmet Ali Talat, had been engaged in peace talks for the past 18 months. His successor says he'll continue them. But Derviş Eroğlu's stance is unacceptable for Greek Cypriots who represent Cyprus in the European Union. Pope Benedict XVI has marked 5 years as leader of the Roman Catholic Church. He was joined by 60 cardinals for a private lunch at the Vatican. The event was a show of solidarity from the church hierarchy at a key moment in a papacy marked by one controversy after another. Claims of child sex abuse by priests overshadowed his trip to Malta this weekend, where he held an emotional meeting with a group of alleged victims. He expressed shame and sorrow and promised the church would do all in its power to bring the guilty to justice and protect the young.
The 19th of April 2005, the white smoke billows out and Cardinal Joseph Ratzinger becomes Pope Benedict XVI. In the 5 years since that day, the successor to the much-loved John Paul II seems to have been dogged by controversy. There have been rows with other religions, as well as disapproval from the international community and disagreement with progressive elements within the Catholic Church itself. Some say the Pope has weakened the power and influence of the Vatican and has dug deeper divisions between Catholics themselves. But the most resounding rows have been on a wider scale. This speech at Regensburg University in 2006 caused outrage in the Muslim world. Show me exactly what's new about what Muhammad had to say. You'll find his words contain only evil and inhuman ideas, like his order to spread the faith he preached by the sword. The Pope apologized and argued in vain that he'd been quoted out of context, but the damage was done and the Muslim community was up in arms. The same would happen with the Jews. Auschwitz, May 2006. When the Pope described the Holocaust as the work of a band of criminals, the Jewish people felt this was an oblique attempt to exonerate the German people, to whom Joseph Ratzinger belongs. March 2009, another crisis. Benedict came in for criticism when he claimed en route for Africa that condoms made the HIV/AIDS crisis even worse. The problem of AIDS can't be solved by simply handing out contraceptives. On the contrary, this would make it worse. Arguably, all this would eventually have blown over if not for the most devastating of scandals, that of sexual and physical abuse by priests. For many years, Pope Benedict was in charge of safeguarding the Church's doctrine and morals, all this while abuse was known to be happening.
The whole legacy of the Pope is going to be filtered, or may be filtered, through the lens of these attacks and how he's reacted to them.
There are those who say that while there's no doubt Benedict XVI is an excellent theologian, he's failed to give clear and constant guidance to the Vatican itself, unlike his predecessor, John Paul II.